Oh boy. Ooh.
Play the music.
I'll just do this for now.
That's how the pros do it. It's gonna be the best intro to the whole video right there.
Crying. I'm very excited for this. Is the blind reaction you reacting to how long it takes for me to lose my mind because nothing's happening? I'm all hooked up on Mountain Dew.
Fix it in post.
I have no idea. I know Gun Fu.
Did you expect this podcast to stay on topic?
No,
Or were you wrong?
For anybody who happens to watch or listen to this it's going to happen all the time. Welcome to Ready Player One. Ha 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 ha. Hold on, wait, I'm not ready. Ow!
I liked how we were dancing in the first one. And in the second one, without even me having to say something, we danced in that one too, I think.
It's happened a few times.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Ready Viewer One. I'm John Boyes.
I'm Nick Johnson.
Did you forget your name?
No.
Seemed like you forgot your name there.
No, I was not fully ready. I was half getting undressed with my hoodie.
Well, it was Halloween, and then we took too long prepping for this, and now it is November 1st. So whenever this comes out, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think that we started late because we were doing Halloween-related things.
No. We were just decided to do a podcast at 11 o'clock at night, and then things happen.
And then messed around for a while. Yeah. So anyway.
Remember that time we said we weren't going to record this late at night anymore? We're going to start getting on at 9 and being done by 10. Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Maybe.
But for a recap, or for the people who weren't here for the last episode, we did a 6 Degrees. Do you remember who the two people were?
No. I don't recall. I'm sure I could look back.
And Jason Biggs. It was a possible 1 degree connection. You did it in 3, and it took you 13 minutes and 43 seconds.
No, it's still up.
And 88 milliseconds if you want to get down to the nitty gritty.
That's not necessary.
But it kind of is.
That's just nitpicky.
Go ahead and type this in here.
What? Do you have today's?
Yeah, this time I didn't do research on it because I forgot. So I'm just going to have to believe whatever you say for this one. All right, let's reset the timer.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
6 degrees. Oh, you're a cheater.
Well, you typed it into the shared notes. Typed into the shared notes.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen versus Ralph Macchio.
Oh my
Ruined
god!
the whole big reveal. You.
No, I was looking at it because I was looking at the notes. It just popped up.
No, you scrolled all the way down to the very bottom of the notes to see it.
Oh, jeez. Like Saved by the Bell. Does that count?
All right. So,
I mean, we said TV shows as long as they're the star, right?
Right. As long as both people you're referencing are the stars. So now, yeah, I can already assume how you're going to do this.
Don't know. But, I have no idea how else to do it.
So while you're stewing on that, let's talk about what tonight's episode is going to be.
I think it's just going to be me looking stupid for about an hour.
It's the 80s Strike Back. I mean, did they really have to strike back? They never really went away. Everything old is new again, and everything's been remade. Everything's been brought back for sequels.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a good episode. We're going to talk about some of our favorites, some of the biggest ones of the 80s.
The 80s.
Maybe some that people forgot about, or some that people just didn't care about. So
I don't know. The 80s, they had some good movies.
They were definitely movies.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. You're already almost 2 minutes in, so this is a good start for me.
Okay. All right. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what Mark Paul Gosselaar's been in.
Well, don't think too hard. We got to get going here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm ready when you are.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Okay,
Break
go.
out that chainsaw and start chopping off some limbs.
Oh, what kind of show are we doing?
I don't know. Chainsaws were like main characters in the 80s on a lot of movies.
Okay, that's yeah. I guess Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. So, are we starting with the 2000s movies? We're going to talk about that first.
No, the theme is 80s. Why would we talk about the 2000s?
I thought we were doing the when we turned 18.
No, you said you wanted to do the 80s.
All right. Well,
is your list
okay.
in the notes 2000s
It is
related?
No, I thought we were doing this. I thought you looked up the 2000 thing.
No, both of us. Our notebook is only the 80s. What are you talking about the 2000s?
Well, we were talking about it earlier. You were showing me movies that came out in April of 2000.
Nowhere in the notes does it say anything about anything from the year 2000.
Oh, we talked about it.
Yeah, and then we said we're going to do the 80s. We literally filled a notebook full of 80s.
Well,
where are you getting 2000s from?
All right, look. I can't help
scene.
it. Yep, we're done. And there's saved by the phone.
Play the music. We're out. Somebody can't get their shit together.
Well, I didn't.
Like,
well, you know what?
We just spent all this time coming up with 83 different movies from the 80s, and you're going to open the show with, so what about the 2000s?
Well, just cut it all out.
No, that is staying in.
No.
This is why we shouldn't be doing this after midnight. We're like gremlins. Nothing good comes after midnight.
Correct. All right. Well, anyway. So, yeah,
Okay.
we're talking about the 80s.
Now, our lists have a lot of crossovers. We have a lot that we found in common.
Yeah.
I see yours definitely skews more towards the horror.
I would say it's a pretty mixed bag of
That's pretty
movies.
good.
Yeah.
I see some that I definitely didn't add on my list. And my main thing when making my list was I was like, all right, what do I remember watching before I was 10? And then what did I go back and watch later? And then I got a top 5. That's how I kind of structured mine in the
I was just thinking I just went through like different genres and I was like, And then I just wrote down the ones that I really liked, the ones that got me like excited.
Yeah, my list of 83 was going through the thousands of movies and being like, you know what, I would watch that on a drop of a hat right now. That'd be a lot of these I will bring up this list and go watch probably in the next week. So that's more of a promise than a threat. Without a doubt, most of these are getting watched because now I'm like, oh, I gotta go force Lila to watch this and that. I made my top 5. I was like, I only made Lila watch one of these. So she's school's in session.
Yeah, well, I mean, my list was based off movies like when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, yes. There was a lot of that going on as I was making my list. And you know what? A lot of these I've definitely made my kids watch. Actually, my daughter earlier was just asking, what's that movie where there's like monsters and they're like in a town and there's like Frankenstein? I was like, Monster Squad?
And they're a squad?
Like, yeah. She didn't say that. I would have been like, really?
So yeah, let's dig.
Oh my God.
Dig into your
I got
list
it.
a little bit.
No, I got it. Hold on. Quiet you. Okay. What's his name?
No, you don't got it. Let's dig into your list.
No, hold on. Okay, so Tiffany Amber Thiessen was in Saved by the Bell with Zach Morris, Mark Paul Gosselaar, before you say anything. That's one. He was in Dead Man on Campus with, what's his name? He was on the Scream show. He was in That Thing You Do.
Campus.
Yeah, the curly hair guy, Tom something. Does that count? Tom something?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, well, fine. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'll think of his name.
Yeah. No, I said let's check out your list.
Tom Everett Scott.
Yep.
Okay, so Dead Man on Campus with Tom Everett Scott. He was in Race to Witch Mountain with The Rock. Who was in Get Smart. Wait, how many is this? Wait. So, hold on. Saved by the Bell. Dead Man on Campus. Race to Witch Mountain. Get Smart with Steve Carell. Battle of the Sexes with Elizabeth Shue, who was in The Karate Kid. What's that?
No, Ralph Macchio would be 7.
No, it's the movies. There's 6
You were at
connections.
Elizabeth Shue on 6 on your 6 on with 6
No,
up. which
Saved by the
means
Bell.
Macchio would have been
Yeah.
7. That doesn't count.
Wait, no, there's a connection to Saved by the Bell. Dead Man on Campus.
Yeah, that's not
Race
6
to Witch-
degrees of separation. That's just 6 movies you're naming with 2 people in it. Your math is off.
No, but it's the connection of the movies, not the number of people.
It's always been the number of people.
Well, I never had to do 6 movies.
Oh, I stopped the timer. This is bullshit.
Oh,
In the,
come on.
in the last episode, I'll fix that with the timestamps. In the last episode, we broke it down by person because I made you recount it.
I did it. Okay.
Tell you what, looking up Dead Man on Campus, I didn't realize some of these people were in it that are.
Who's really like who?
I can't help you.
Oh, so I didn't even think of that. I was just curious. I know that Lachlan Monroe's in it, and he plays that crazy guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll talk about our list then, since apparently I failed.
Yeah, Cliff Lachlan. Yeah, I just saw who you meant. But I like that guy. He was funny.
He's not a good actor, but he's funny in that movie.
I feel like I just saw him on something the other day too. So yeah,
he
Ada
does
was
a
asking
lot.
about the movie with monsters that's hang out in a spot.
Oh yeah, so she was asking me about it. She's like, I want to watch a Halloween movie. So I was like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was like along the lines of like that movie with the monsters and they're like in a town or something like that. It was just like Monster Squad. She ended up just listening to music instead. I was like, all right, well, glad we had this talk. But
Yeah, but you made me
yeah.
watch that last week, the week before. I really enjoyed that movie.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, I guess we're talking about it. You made a top 5, and that's easily in my top 5 80s movies. Like, I love the Monster Squad. That's like one of those. I was like 2nd or 3rd grade. Somebody introduced that to me. I remember we were like running around the neighborhood. Like, everybody would play guns at the time, and when kids could play guns and run around the neighborhood without crazy things happening. But yeah, we all wanted to be Rudy because he was the badass. He was the tough guy. I mean, it was so much fun. You got all the classic monster movie characters. It's like Goonies. It's like the Goonies with monsters.
Yeah.
Essentially.
We got a cool club and you can't.
Yeah.
Can we let them in? What do you think? We got to vote on it. Let's.
Yeah.
I like that his
it's
little
cheesy.
sister befriends Frankenstein.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought that was Darlene
It's
from
just holding his
Roseanne.
little finger. Like.
Yeah. I thought that was Darlene from, for the longest time, from Roseanne.
Yeah.
The longest
I don't know who
time.
it was though.
I was wrong. What the hell has this girl been in a movie of? Sorry. I'm trying to like get rid of one. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, Monster Squad can't go wrong. They were actually all those guys. We didn't go. We completely forgot. That convention was nearby recently, where a bunch of the people were going to be from it. And, yeah, that would have been a good time. But I lost it. I think I outgrew it. But I had a shirt that said Stephen King rules, like from the movie. Oh my god, it's so good. I could watch that movie over and over again. What a classic. And you know what? I feel like it's one of those movies where like not too many people know about it.
Yeah, I've never seen it
So
up until you forced me to watch it.
Good stuff.
Your next one on your list is one I found older in life, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Older, really?
Yeah, like when I was like 12 or 13.
Oh,
Remember, I
okay.
separated my list by like up until I was 10, like as a kid, quote unquote, and then after everything else.
Yeah, Bill and Ted. It's phenomenal. But I don't remember how that was introduced to me. I'm pretty sure it was just like on like we talk about this all the time on here. Just watching cable TV when we were younger and like having to flip back and forth between like TNT and TBS and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how I discovered Bill and Ted. But I'm a history fan. I like history, so it was like a twofer. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the sequel was ridiculous. I love the sequel.
One that just came out.
Station. Well, they formed this super band with those creepy little things, and even though I don't remember what they're called, like Death playing all the games. Like I had the comic books and everything for. Like,
I was a big comics.
Yeah. It was just like the illustrated version of the movies. Like it wasn't anything different.
The only
like
comic book I ever had growing up was Spawn, and I think one Spider-Man comic book.
What else? What
I don't know if I've ever seen the next one on your list.
Excuse me?
Well, when you grow up with a mom that's a clown, I don't think you watch killer clown movies, except for It. But
okay.
I did see It, but I don't think that's is it? Is that on the list?
It was 1990. Oh, pause.
Yeah, so Killer Clowns from Outer Space, was that one of your...
Hold on. We'll talk about the Chiodo Brothers classic in a minute. Okay. Wait. Oh, let me make sure I have it. You can keep going. I don't think I have it.
Okay. I was worried for a second there. Yeah, so Killer Clowns from Outer Space. To this day, I don't think I've ever seen it.
So it's phenomenal. Just I can't believe you've never seen it. I'm actually like quite surprised by this. So, you got this small town and like suddenly there's just a circus and people start to disappear. And there's these killer clowns from outer space and they're trapping people in cotton candy. And like all this ridiculous stuff happens. And spoiler alert, like the only way to get rid of them is by shooting them in the nose. Their big red nose. And like the costumes, it's like practical effects. So the costumes are phenomenal. Just like big oafy looking clowns like wobbling around like those things that don't fall over when you knock them around.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hilarious! So ridiculous, so
People
cheesy.
wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yeah. I need to write stuff down.
Yeah, watching this trailer, this is hilarious, and I definitely
think
watching
it?
A future episode is going to be practical VFX versus CGI, maybe separate episodes where we deep dive. But this trailer is ridiculous.
But I can't believe you've never seen it.
I've definitely never seen it.
That's crazy to me, and I'm surprised that I haven't like had you try to watch it before. Yeah. So hold on. So it's the number of people. I guess I always thought the connection was the movie connection. I don't know. Anyway, just keep the thing running. We'll keep talking. So yeah, you have to see Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime. It's on Hulu Premium. But you have Prime, so I mean, you have to watch it. Like you have to. Actually, let's just end this episode now.
You rent it, so I'll check. What'd you say? The other one was.
We should just stop recording right now, and you should just go watch it because it's phenomenal.
No, I'm good. I will watch it tomorrow.
Lila might like it, so you should definitely maybe watch it with her.
How cheesy it is.
Oh yeah. Okay, so anyway, so that's my third top five, and the top five is really like not any kind of order for me. I don't know how it is for you, but my top five is not in order. So anyway. That's my third one. Do you want to do what's your first one?
First one on my list is Hamburger Hill.
Okay, so that's why I've never seen that.
Yeah, I went through a stint where I just watched a whole bunch of war movies. And actually, another one on my list is Good Morning Vietnam.
Ooh. What a good movie.
So good. And Hamburger Hill is just a really good movie as well.
Okay.
I remember it was like in a $1 bin at Walmart, and I bought it, and I was like, "This is awesome! Why is this only $1?" Like, so good. And then Full Metal Jacket could have made the list too, but I didn't want to make it all war movies for my top 5.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, it's fair enough.
Could have quickly went down that with Platoon's in the 80s too. Like, there's just one thing after another that's in the 80s that's just really good movies. But yeah, so my top 5: Hamburger Hill and Good Morning Vietnam I put in there just because they're just so good.
Okay. I've never seen Hamburger Hill. That's one that I've never, at least I don't think I have. I don't know. I'd have to go back and I'd have to watch the trailer.
For sure.
For sure. So yeah.
I just found a movie from the 2000s that we could talk about.
Well, that's not what we're talking about.
I know. Apparently you forgot, but I was looking up Tiffany Amber Thiessen's IMDb.
Okay. Oh. She did a movie besides Saved by the Bell?
Yep.
Trying to think of something else that I've seen her in.
I'll tell you what. Oh, you already hit 20 minutes. I'll give you one that's got a lot of people in it Dusk Till Dawn 2. Did you see it?
Wait, what?
Dusk Till Dawn 2.
I don't know.
Mexican bank heist movie.
She's in that?
Yeah, she's in that, but if you don't remember seeing the movie, then these actors aren't going to help you.
I'm sure I've seen it. I just don't remember. Was she in that Pauly Shore movie?
Yep. I think so. I think I just saw that. That was going to be one of the other ones I gave you. Let me double check.
Son-in-law? Was it Son-in-law on the farm?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe I could start there.
Because I was going to give you that. And then in the year 2000, there was Shriek, If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, she was in that. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, she's on the cover of that one, so.
Oh.
She was really in that one, apparently. She's the main star. But
Okay. So maybe I can
not
connect it with
people where you can't remember.
Like Brendan Fraser, maybe. Because of Encino Man. I don't like this one. I don't. This stinks. She's like a nobody. I'm sorry.
I mean, she's got 47 credits. She's hosting a show on MTV right now.
MTV still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
She has like a Food Ridiculousness or something like that. Like a spinoff of Ridiculousness. And it's got the one lady from The Office, the blonde. Who's married to the senator in part of it. And then what's her name? Oh, no, I give up. It's too late for this pop quiz.
All right. Well, I'm glad that worked
out.
Anyway. Oh, boy. So anyway, we were talking about Chopping Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how good is Chopping Mall?
Chopping Mall's good.
I mean, I think that's definitely... I said Monster Squad was one that people might not know, but Chopping Mall is definitely one people probably don't know about.
Yeah, I came across Chopping Mall halfway through the movie because I subscribed to Shudder, and it gives you 3 channels. I think it was under the Slashers one or whatever. And I forgot to go back and start it from the beginning, but just what I saw, I was like, this is the craziest, like robots shooting lasers and just craziness going on. I was like, and this is from the 80s, and it's got like flying drones type shit. Like just the stuff was going on. It's like, I definitely want to see every second of this movie.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what Chopping Mall is, it's an 80s gore fest. Maybe not a gore fest, but it's a horror movie about these teenagers. One of them works in the mall, and they decide to keep themselves in the locked mall after hours so that they could drink and party and do whatever. Right. But the mall has a new security system. It's just ridiculous with these robots that patrol the mall, and they're supposed to be non-threatening, non-lethal, but there's like a lightning strike or something that interrupts their operating system. I guess, I don't know, their Commodore 64s get broken, And the robots turn lethal and they start killing all the kids that are locked in the mall. Locked in the mall. That's the key word there. So it's absolutely ridiculous and phenomenal. And now that you just said it's on Shudder, even though I think I have the Blu-ray, and I'm pretty sure I paid like extra money to find it on Blu-ray. I think I have to watch that soon.
We'll do a watch party because I definitely want to watch it again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We'll get a Discord watch party going and just put a link out there to see who else is in the mood to watch it.
Yeah. Well, whatever that thing's called.
Yeah.
So should I go to my last one on my top 5? Because I'm pretty sure this is my favorite 80s movie. Or should I just wait? Should I wait?
Yeah, let's do some more from your list and see what else you got. Because you got a good list going.
Okay, so my number 1, I guess. This is the other ones are like whatever. This is definitely my number 1. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I love Roger Rabbit. like
coincidentally enough, that is one that I saw before I was 10 years old. So
it's not that bad.
Probably shouldn't have, but I remember seeing it at that point in time. So
you ready for this? Okay. So 2nd grade. So what was I like? 8, 7? How old were you in 2nd grade? I'm not even sure. 7 or 8, probably, right?
Yeah.
My teacher allowed me to bring in Who Framed Roger Rabbit on VHS for the school that's watching class. And my job was to sit at the front VCR while the movie played. So that I can't remember if I fast forwarded or muted it when the cursing happened, because I knew the movie word for word, heart to heart. Like I just knew every single bit of it. So I knew when they were about to say something a 2nd grader shouldn't hear, and I'd mute.
Listen, schools were the Wild West in the 80s and 90s and even the 2000s. Yeah. Like I remember the same thing, you just bring in a video and play it on the early morning news shows. There would be like 3 minutes of a movie every day or something that someone would bring in, and that all stopped in 8th grade, where they stopped letting us do that because the kids in charge brought in the first CKY video, which CKY stands for Can't Kill Yourself.
Yep.
It was all good and fun until like day 4, when they get to the part where it's just like boobs and dicks everywhere. That was the last day that the news people were allowed to show videos in the morning. Yeah,
probably.
Which is funny because all the vandalism and stuff they do in those videos, all that's fine, but boobies are bad.
Boobies are bad. Yep. So anyway,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I remember watching that over and over as a kid. Of course, I mean, being young, it's all but watching it now would be a completely different movie.
Oh yeah, a
lot of those movies are bad though.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, you have Christopher Lloyd; he's the bad guy. You have all the different Looney Tunes, which at that time it was just like, oh my god, look it's Looney Tunes. I know them.
Exactly. Yeah.
He had who was it? Bob Hoskins, who he was whatever. It's so good. Like it's
one
just
of
amazing.
Those tropes that Daddy's Home brought back and like put right on Front Street in the second one. Like, oh, it's got kids in the movie. It must be a kids movie. Like Daddy's Home is not a kids movie, but because the main characters are kids, people take their kids to see it. Same thing with this. It's like, oh, it's got cartoons in it. It'll be good for kids. But yeah, definitely adult themes in kids movies in the 80s and 90s.
Wait, 1, 2.
So we got some action movies coming up in your list. Die Hard.
Oh my God, Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever.
We brought that up a few times in here. I'm sure that's going to make our Christmas episode for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Lost Boys. I remember when we first started working together, you bringing up the Lost Boys, and
Oh my god, this is
What
easily
was the
the
other movie
best.
you mentioned a lot? The Warriors. But that's not the 80s, is it?
It might be the 70s. I would imagine it would have came across my list if it was the 80s when I was like Googling at things.
Yeah, I just remember we'd be walking around at like 2 a.m. doing a store reset, and you'd be sitting there like, Warriors, come out and play. Just like creepy voices coming over the racks on the other side. Just
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Oh, speaking of you scaring the shit out of me, one of our other jobs together, Home Depot. Remember when you had Bryce go all the way across the store just to scare me? Like, we're talking the setup on this was ridiculous. We're talking about like a 5-minute, keep John here until he gets there.
Yeah.
I still tell this story to everyone when they scare me. I'm like, that's still not the worst anybody's ever done. People have planned elaborate ways to scare me, and this was like you had me at the one wall. There's like the 2 aisles, 4 aisles there, and you had me, and you just kept like every time I'd be like, all right, cool. You'd be like, oh no, and you'd keep my attention. And little did I know was you had Bryce going over an aisle and forward, back and forth from one end of the store to the other until he came up behind me and scared the shit out of me.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. Good times. Everybody loves to scare John. Jerks.
I think one of my favorite ones scaring you is when I didn't even mean to, and you were holding the box of hangers, and I opened the door and I hit you with it, and the hangers.
You can hear them in the box go airborne and come crashing down inside the box. Like the box didn't fall. I was still holding it, but you just hear like hundreds of hangers inside a box clanking off of each other as it's like in midair. And I'm like, oh.
It was amazing. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is a hard one. I'm having trouble with this one. I don't like it.
Well, you started out with what? Mark Paul Gosselaar to what was your next jump?
That Tom guy.
Yeah. See, I would have went with the guy he did that TV show where they're lawyers, Breckenmeyer, and then tried to go from there because he did stuff as a kid too, didn't he? Which would have put him back with Ralph Macchio. I just love that it's so hard to get Ralph Macchio.
That's not the problem. Ralph Macchio, I could think of plenty of things he's been in. I mean, Cobra Kai with Elizabeth Shue, who's done a ton of stuff. And like, he's also was in The Outsiders with Tom Cruise and Rob Lowe and Matt Dillon and stuff like that. I hope you're happy.
Yes.
That I'm
Are you
annoyed.
kidding me? I've been trying to do this for 15 years.
Relax. I'm gonna get it. Don't worry. I'm gonna get it. It's gotta be something. What I'm trying to do Ralph Macchio, Elizabeth Shue, Kevin Bacon from Hollow Man.
Just because Kevin Bacon's 6 degrees from anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to somehow if I can connect him to Tom Green. Not Tom Green. Tom Hanks.
Tom Everett Scott?
Or that. Something.
Speaking of Tom Everett Scott, never mind.
What, you thought he's somebody else? Or what?
No, I was going to say an American Werewolf in London, but he's in the sequel, isn't he?
Yes, American Werewolf in
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah. So I'm going to delete that from my list because that means I didn't see American Werewolf in London.
American Werewolf in London is awesome. So, I mean, back on topic. If you've never seen American Werewolf in London?
I feel like I had to have gone back and watch it, but I don't remember it. I'd have to.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't
It's
tell you one scene from it.
great werewolf movie. But like, oh my God, the special effects, like the transformation is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like you should just watch the werewolf transformation scene from that. Like you could probably find it on YouTube. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I also like to say it's 40 minutes and we've only gone through like a part of my list.
We did your top 5.
Yeah. What are your top 5? Let's talk about yours.
No, we already did some. I gotta save some so people hang out till the end of the podcast. You kind of dropped them all up front.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, well, what's next?
Well, we talked about Lost Boys. So you got Gremlins on the list, which
Ooh, good movie.
was a good one growing up. And then I don't even think I ever saw. Well, if I saw Gremlins 2, I forgot about it because when I rewatched it, I loved it. But
I love Gremlins.
You got Gremlins
too.
on here. You got Day of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
The next 2 after that are on my list as well. Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like that's a classic movie.
Yeah.
Quintessential. That's not the word. Like 80s movie. It's just like it's so good.
Yeah, between that and the reign of John Hughes of the 80s, it was those are all instant classics. Actually, a lot of his wind up on my list, like Uncle Buck and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Breakfast Club.
Uncle Buck.
Oh yeah, I loved Uncle Buck growing up.
That's a good one. That's a pre-Home Alone Macaulay.
Yeah. Vacation, which I didn't even realize was John Hughes until I looked up a list. I was like, oh, I didn't even I knew 16 Candles and stuff like that, but Mr. Mom, I didn't realize was him either.
Yeah, that's one I always forget about.
Weird Science you brought up was one of his, but yeah, anything John Candy during that time or Chevy Chase we were watching as a family. John Hughes basically ruled the 80s.
Oh my god, 100%.
Everything he came out with was just a instant classic. Yeah, buddy cop movies were big for me with Tango and Cash and
Oh my god, Tango and Cash. I forgot about that one.
Turner and Hooch. Speaking of Tom Hanks, 48 Hours, Cobra.
Tons of good movies.
Cop movies are big. Like Police Story. Trying to think what else came out in the 80s that was just anything like Above the Law and all that with Steven Seagal. Bloodsport. Yeah. Lots of action in the 80s.
Yeah, that's a good one. Bloodsport. I enjoy that movie. Let's see. We talked about all these. How about Poltergeist? That's a good movie. I remember
watching it as an adult, but that's one of those ones where I can't tell you one scene from it.
It's where she gets sucked into the TV. I mean, what else is there?
I know it's a classic, but I can't tell you one thing about it.
Oh my god. Well, it's Poltergeist. Like this family moves into a house which turns out to be, it was built on top of Indian burial ground. So, the house is haunted. The little girl, Carol Ann, possessed. Well, not possessed. She's haunted. I get that's the right word. Not she doesn't get possessed. But they get haunted, and like all this crazy stuff starts happening. Like the clown comes to life, tries to strangle a boy. The tree is moving around. Like she gets sucked into the TV. There's like a wormhole thing trying to suck everybody into the closet in the bedroom. It's ridiculous.
That's the one where like the wallpaper has like waves going through it. I think. Am I remembering the right movie, or is that the Frighteners I'm thinking of now?
Oh my god, the Frighteners. Sorry, I love the Frighteners.
Yeah.
Frighteners.
You know what I realized as I was looking at my list is I don't have anything Chuck Norris on there that I could remember. And then I looked up Chuck Norris. It's like, how do I not have Missing in Action and basically everything? Delta Force but the one what made me look up, I was like, what year did Sidekicks come out? Because that was one of my favorites growing up too.
Sidekicks? Oh, that's the 90s, 100%.
Yeah, 1992, where the kid's sitting in detention or whatever it is and daydreaming, and then starts dreaming about Chuck Norris in the helicopter coming in and saying, I need your help.
He passed away, unfortunately.
The kid?
Yeah.
Jonathan Brandis. 2003, wow. Yeah,
Mhm.
very young. Never Ending Story. That's what else he was in, which is on my list because as a kid, I remember falling asleep to that daily. More movies from my childhood that I loved was Brewster's Millions.
I
I was a
don't
big
think I've
fan
seen
of.
that one.
How have you not seen Brewster's Millions? Do you know what it's about?
I
So
don't think so.
Richard Pryor, I think, is a. I don't think he's homeless in this. I think he's just like a normal guy, and
Okay.
a billionaire is trying to find someone to amass his fortune when he dies or something. I kind of forget the plot, but the main thing is they pick him off the street and tell him he has to spend $1 million in like 24 hours or something like that. And the theory is if he spends all the money up front, then he's not going to waste all the money that he gets in the end to look over the estate and all that. So then it's, a 90-minute movie of him trying to spend $1 million in a day and, being somebody that's never had money, he doesn't know how to spend it. So it's a wild and zany movie. But the other one with Richard Pryor, anything with him and Gene Wilder, I remember watching, but I think the only other one I saw on the 80s list was Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
They were always on Comedy Central, like the prior movies.
Those two.
Gene Wilder, always.
Blazing Saddles was on all the time, and
Good one. That's a good one. Definitely would not get made today. A little racist.
definitely not.
A little racist.
Extremely racist.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. As a kid, Karate Kid. I don't know if we mentioned that one or not, but Karate Kid, Christmas Story, and Vacation were always on the TV.
Always.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I think that's 90s, but it was a good one.
No,
No, it was 88, right?
89.
That was close.
That's right, because 89 was when like half my list came out. It's like this is when everything good came out.
I didn't look at the years. I just went by genre.
Yeah. So we talked about Chuck Norris and Jackie Chan. I mentioned a Police Story. Sylvester Stallone was huge in the 80s, coming out with First Blood, which is one of my favorite movies, and the Rocky movies and Cobra.
Rocky's great. Cobra, I've seen that once or twice. I remember I enjoyed it. Not one that I ever went back and rewatched a lot,
Yeah, I probably watched it 10 times before I was 10. I would literally watch anything with him and Arnold in it. And then, Arnold and Danny DeVito and Twins.
Oh, such a good movie.
I've had to watch it 100 times as a kid.
They've been talking about making a sequel to that for years.
Yeah. Wasn't the last thing where it was triplets and
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy was going to be the brother? Yeah.
Well, I think that was like an original idea, and I think they may have replaced Eddie Murphy now with somebody else, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan's the latest on Twins, which is the one I was going to say because I don't think I heard Eddie Murphy. I heard
Eddie Murphy was like the original plan, like after the movie like first came out.
Yeah, so
now,
Tracy Morgan
oh my God.
After 33 years, they finally found a way to sequelize it.
Isn't he like way younger than them?
Well, Arnold's 70.
He's not 72.
50.
Like, yeah, maybe, but he's not 70 something like Arnold. I don't know how they plan on doing that.
Movie magic.
Sure.
They'll age them down and age him up.
Okay, sure.
But he's 52. He's 20 years younger than him.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny DeVito is 76, by the way. Yeah, so Twins was always on the TV.
Oh my God, so good.
Action. Well, clearly my history's action movies for the 80s, whereas yours was horror. But one of the pinnacle action movies of the 80s was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones is great. Gotta love that.
Blues Brothers.
Oh, I love the Blues Brothers. That was always on Comedy Central. Always.
Something we brought up in one of the previous episodes, which I told you need to watch Vacation Friends. so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that.
Yeah. John Cena would be a great reboot for Ernest. And Ernest Goes to Camp came out in the 80s.
What?
Telling you, go watch the movie and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Did you just say John Cena for Ernest?
Go watch the movie and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
I thought I was the only one that made that connection, and then I had like 3 other people say the same thing to me. That they thought the same thing when they saw this one scene of it. So
Ernest?
yeah. You'll go watch the movie, come back, we'll continue.
Okay, I guess.
Anyway, Ernest was one of my favorites growing up, just because of how zany he was, and especially the Christmas one where he saves Christmas. That was my favorite growing up.
I mean, I used to love. Don't get me wrong. I used to enjoy me some Ernest movies. I'm just a little surprised to hear John Cena. Like,
go watch Vacation Friends. It's the end all be all. You'll be texting me when you get to the scene I'm talking about, and you're just like, okay, I'm for it.
I don't know.
I had so many cop movies in this, and this is still like my before I was 10. Just
okay,
loading on all the cop stuff. Like I loved everything cop related, TV and movies and everything. So a little bit of comedy with Police Academy.
Oh
Loved
yeah, they're
Police
great.
Academy. Airplane came out in the 80s with Leslie Nielsen. And
Right.
We would watch anything that he was in.
Yeah, he's great. He was again always on Comedy Central.
Yeah. The Muscles from Brussels. We'd watch anything with him in it. So what was that? Kickboxer. Was Bloodsport him too?
Van Damme was yeah.
Van Damme was yeah. Muscles from Brussels. Van Damme.
Mm-hmm.
One that was on both of our lists, I don't think we talked about it yet, was Stand By Me. Great 80s movie. Great coming of age movie.
Yeah, definitely. Based off the Stephen King book.
Yeah. You love you some King.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I never actually read The Body that the movie's based off of, but it's just a short story. I'll watch it one day. I'll watch it. I'll read it one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Any other that you can remember from when you were a young kid watching over and over again? Just loving?
Over and over again.
Like what Goonies and all that when you were that age?
Yeah, definitely. Beverly Hills Cop was always on. I know we talked about that for like a half a second.
Yeah.
Love Beverly Hills Cop. It's so good. You know, Stallone passed on playing that part.
It would not have been as good. There's no way that would have been a good movie with him in it. Like
Big Trouble in Little China was always on TV.
So good. And when I was a kid and not realizing what drugs were, I just loved the movie. And then watching when I was older, I was like, I was allowed to watch this.
Let's
just get in an elevator and get completely stoned and then fight. Like,
yeah. Tom Hanks was always on, whether it was Big, The Burbs,
yep.
Like Splash, or The Money Pit or something.
Yeah, Money Pit I just watched within the past 10 years.
Always. He was always on TV in something.
Yeah, you just mentioned one that's in my top 5, which was Big, which is the only one in my top 5 that I forced Lila to watch. And then now she's asked to watch it like a dozen times. Like it's been one of her favorite movies the past couple of years. So I think I made her watch that when she was like 5.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So my top 5 that we've covered so far was the Hamburger Hill, Good Morning Vietnam, Blues Brothers, and Big. And then there's one left that I'll reveal later.
What else is always on TV? Three Amigos, which is so good. I love
anything with Steve Martin in it.
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Which now that we're out of my childhood and we're when I was older in my teens, going back and watching 80s movies, Fletch
is good.
Guys Like
Chevy
Us.
Chase apparently is a dickhead though, but whatever.
Bringing Stallone back in it, or was it Stallone and Danny DeVito and Throw Mama from the Train? Who's in that?
Yes. No, it wasn't Stallone. It was
Billy
Danny
Crystal.
DeVito and Billy Crystal. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Crystal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Billy Crystal was. I've a couple of books relating to him that because I love watching, reading autobiography type stuff. But yeah, Billy Crystal was always on TV or movies playing in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Bill fucking Murray was always on our TV. Ghostbusters and
Ghostbusters,
Stripes
Caddyshack.
and Caddyshack.
Stripes.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
In my teens, I loved anything with John Cusack in it. So like 16 Candles.
Mhm. Oh, John Cusack. Amazing.
Yeah. One to this day, still probably my favorite actor. If someone was to say, quick, John Cusack.
One of my favorite, just movies in general, is Gross Point Blank.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah. Love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was like definitely one of the first DVDs I bought. And yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
La Bamba, which I didn't know
Oh, yeah,
was
all
from
the time.
80s.
That was all the time.
Yeah. Did not know that was an 80s movie. I just loved that movie because I would, music biopics, the rockumentaries or whatever they would call them, that and Selena and all the other ones. I just thought they were all from the 90s. Did not know that was that old. That was so good. I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips was on TV all the time in the 90s, so just assumed it was like a newer movie.
No, that's a good one too. It was funny while we were waiting to start recording. You were like looking up stuff, and I just kept singing La Bamba. I don't know why. It was just in my head.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Goonies we talked about. Revenge of the Nerds. When I found that in my teens, I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely not a movie we should have been watching in the 80s.
Yeah, like I said, this is like teenage years. This and everybody was like Porky's. I was like, Revenge of the Nerds is just funnier.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Porky's has a time and a place, but Revenge of the Nerds I would just watch over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
One that I really enjoyed that was definitely like maybe when I was like 16 or 17 doing the Blockbuster and Netflix was Rain Man when I finally watched that.
That's a good one. I watched that. I remember I watched that way later, not like when I was younger. Like I watched it when I was much older. And I was like, why did I never watch this before? Like I never understand. I just never watched it.
Did we mention Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, that's a movie I like, but it's not one that I'm like excited about. It's a good movie.
Campy horror. I have one in my elder favorites list is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh yeah, I never really watched those.
Yeah, I just remember it being on TNT with one of those shows with Joe Bob on it, or what was the other guy with the black hair that would always be in front of the camper? Or was that Joe Bob?
That was Joe Bob.
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember the guy I'm thinking of looked like the teacher on Boy Meets World with the motorcycle. You know which one I mean?
Oh yeah, Mr. Yeah, I know who you mean. I don't know his name.
I don't think it was him, but it was somebody that looked just like him that was hosting one of those TNT shows. And I remember it would be like Tremors would be on all the time, or Elvira around Halloween would be on.
Tremors is a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 12 of them now. So
they're not all good.
Speaking of Tremors, did you finish Dune yet?
80s movie, classic, supposedly. I tried once. I tried to watch it the other night for the first time ever, and I can't tell you anything about the movie.
Fun fact: we both tried to watch it the other day. We said, "All right, on 3, start it." We started it, and you made it a few scenes in before passing out, and I made it to 40 minutes left because I was like, "Oh, I'm getting tired," and I hit pause to see how much time was left, and said 40 minutes, and I hit unpause. And the next thing I know, it's 6 a.m. and I'm waking up on the couch. So then the next night, same thing. Fast forward all the way to 40 minutes left. Hit play. Okay, I remember this. Okay. Oh, it's 5 a.m. Okay, I better go to bed. The next day, third attempt, 40 minutes. Like, oh, I've seen this go a little, 38 minutes. Okay, this is new. Okay. Wake up in the middle of the night. It was literally 5 tries before I could finish the last 30 minutes of the movie. But
did you like it? Like, was it good? Worth a watch?
Yeah, it's worth watching if you're into 80s movies, and if you want to watch the new one and you haven't read the books, maybe it helps. I don't know. I'm gonna watch the new one this week, but yeah, the whole thing was to watch the original before watching the new one to see, differences. And
I may just jump to the new one.
Yeah. I'll let you know after watching the new one what was in the old one. When we review Dune, the new one, I'll tell you what was in the original.
Okay. There's so many movies. We've already been talking for over an hour, and
yeah, I've got my top movie left to say, but that's about it.
Go ahead. What's your top movie? Let's get to the end of this and see what it is. Let's talk about your top movie.
My favorite movie as a kid that any chance I could get, I would watch would be Batman.
Oh, Batman. Duh. I should have known.
Batman.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Batman.
Yeah. Batman is literally my whole personality. So
yeah. So I was a good age when that movie came out. I was like 7. So I remember I remember very vividly, like, watching that movie, going to the theater, seeing Batman, being obsessed with the Nintendo game, constantly calling the video rental store down the street just to be like, did somebody return Batman yet? Can I come pick it up? Is Batman there? Can I come play it? It was so good.
Yeah.
But the movie,
just for clarification, we're talking about 1989. We're talking about the black box with the gold logo.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jack Nicholson was mad they didn't ask him to be Joker in the Heath Ledger one.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You were good in 89. Let's. What are you going to do now?
I mean, I did not know Tim Burton directed it because, as a kid, you don't care about that stuff.
Right.
I mean, I was talking to someone about Tim Burton, probably you.
Probably me.
Just all of his animated movies and new movies coming out and stuff like that. And then, then I hear, oh yeah, Tim Burton directed Batman, or, his Batman series was good. And I was like, what? Blowing my mind here. And then I think about how cartoony those movies were. I was listening to a podcast with like a music producer guy.
Right.
And then when I was looking up this movie, I was like, oh damn, Danny Elfman did the music for Batman too. Like,
not surprised. I think he only works with Tim Burton.
No, he works with other people.
No, I'm just sure.
But in general, I'm just now starting to try and make a point to learn more people in the business and all that. Like voice actors I would know, and Randy Newman I would know as a musical producer guy.
You've got a friend in me.
Yeah. Or the theme song to Monk always comes to mind when I think of Randy Newman.
I never watched Monk.
Tony Shalhoub, he's the man.
Mm-hmm. He was in 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies.
By the way, anyway. I think I give up.
You give up?
I kind of stopped even trying to take notes and write things down. Anyway, yeah. But yeah,
anyway, Tony Shalhoub, back to Danny Elfman. One of the new people I've just learned are music people, and from the band Oingo Boingo and all the different movies and TV stuff he started doing. Music for. So
wait, Danny Elfman was an Oingo Boingo?
Yeah.
I did not
so there's
know
a podcast. He was on the ID10T podcast with Chris Hardwick. He has Danny Elfman on the latest episode, which I'm going to send to you so you can listen to it tomorrow. And he talks about how he wasn't even trying to be in the music business. He was like in his 20s when he finally picked up a musical instrument for the first time, and then started doing Oingo Boingo as a fun thing with friends, and then was trying to do something in college, and somebody kept pulling him out to do music stuff or something. I don't know. I can't really remember, but
You
Anyway,
just send it to me. I will listen to that.
yeah.
Oh, it says idiot with Chris Hardwick, not ID10T.
It's ID10T, but it's a IT joke.
Oh,
When
like the TV show?
yeah, that's a good show.
It's a good joke.
I love
Not
that
the
show.
American version.
Yeah, they did an American version.
Oh yeah, it had Joel McHale was in it, and they brought back the guy with the curly hair from the British one, the guy with the glasses, and I think it lasted a single episode.
Oh, that's funny.
It was just a shot for shot remake of the British one.
ID10T. It's an IT joke. When you're talking to someone that's also in IT, and you say, "Oh yeah, it's that ID10T error." It's the idiot error for when it's the user's fault. Like they just don't know what they're doing, and there's nothing wrong at all. That's where that comes from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I did not know that. I just looked at it and I was like, that clearly says idiot.
And that's clearly a 1 and a 0. So it's a yeah.
Well, it is, but it says idiot. It's clearly what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah. Well, when somebody's saying it, you don't see the word, so that doesn't you don't make that connection.
Right. No, I get that.
But yeah, so this has been 80s movies of our liking. Some good, all
We didn't
all
even
bad ones
like
we cut
scratch
out
the
because we don't care
surface.
about them.
We could do an 80s volume 2, like in the future,
You
and
know?
talk about so many more.
I need to look something up real quick. It's probably 90s, but if I didn't think to add this, I'm going to be very sad.
Well, we don't want sad John boys.
Nope, 1990s. We're good. It'll be in the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Just another thing that I remembered having on loop as a kid 24/7. So
Blank Man. Was it Blank Man?
love me some Blank Man, but no, that's not it.
That was always on TV.
We'll be deep diving into some VHS classics. That's for sure.
Yeah,
90s is going to be a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't come in swinging with, let's talk about 2000 at the beginning of it.
I thought we were doing something we talked about. Okay, like a
Yes.
little thing before.
Something that we talked about for 2 seconds and then spent an hour and a half making notes on something completely different.
I didn't know we still weren't doing it.
Is it in the notes?
I-
Then it's
I
not getting
don't-
mentioned. But I am marking you down for giving up at 1 hour and 15 minutes on.
Do you know the connection?
No, I didn't research it. I told you that at the top of this. This was a last minute recording idea.
I don't think there is a 6 degree connection.
There's just 6 degrees to everyone in the world. That's the whole point of 6 degrees.
There's not. No, I don't think there is.
All right. Anyway,
Anyway, this has been Ready Viewer 1, 80s edition.
oh yeah,
Throughout the
80s
cassette
Strike
tapes.
Back.
What?
Hey, it's an 80s thing. You had to be there.
I was. I don't think it was.
Well,
I had a few extra years in the 80s than you did. I don't think that. I don't recall the 80s Strike
play
Back.
the
What
outro
is this?
music and hold my mini boombox up. Remember back in the
Okay,
80s when boomboxes were like 80 pounds and
Yeah.
now you get a little
Yeah.
orange cell phone. You can,
Maybe hold up a
Blare music
like a
on it.
Bluetooth speaker.
yeah, it would not be the same,
No, but the sound would
same
be better.
translation today. All right. This has
So
been
anyway.
the 80s episode. That's Nick. I'm John.
Tell us your favorite 80s movies in the comments below.
Good call. Leave a comment, like, describe, all
All
that
that.
stuff.
Describe? Describe what?
Like,
What are we
like and
describing?
subscribe.
Oh,
I
subscribe.
listened to too much Hawk versus Wolf, and Tony Hawk said that like in the first episode, and it gets brought up in every episode. So that's just a Freudian slip there. My bad.
Okay, well, apparently you have to describe something in the comments too. So
We're not stealing that. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment on Apple
Anything.
and Spotify.
Oh yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
All right. Peace.
Thank you, everybody,
All right.
and good night.
Bye.
Bye.